Hey everybody, welcome to the Heretic Yogi episode 4, Heresy of the Good Old Days. So, I've been talking about one of my prime underlying beliefs and what I think is one of the most important ideas in the Yoga Sutras, which is that suffering that has not yet come can be avoided. So if you believe that, then you have to answer the question, how? So one answer that gets thrown around a lot is you avoid future suffering by making your way back to the past, to the secure things that you know from the past. Well, let me tell you a story. So years ago, I was talking with some people in a church down in Durham, North Carolina. Great, loving people, give you the shirt off their back kind of people. Almost 100% white church. And somehow the topic of kind of race and race relations, discrimination had come up. And one of the older church members, who was a wonderful person, not a bad bone in her body, funny as hell, kind of one of those people. She was talking about, well, when she was a kid, yeah, all the black people lived in one neighborhood, but, if one of them was sick, you would take them food, and everyone was so happy and they got along so great. Well, I'm sure, as a child, her recollection of that was going to visit someone's house, and what a happy experience it was. But she wasn't looking past the surface of that memory. So she thought, if we could just go back to those days, everything would be fine. Without seeing what was really going on in the underlying situation. So, you come to today, we have Make America Great Again. Well, the question is when was America so great and for who? Same church that I mentioned, talking with another fellow successful kind of, I guess you could call him blue-collar worker sort of person. Again, great guy, would give you the shirt off his back. He told me a story about how in the 60s, the church district powers that be had sent down a proclamation that you can no longer segregate your churches. If black people show up at your church, you have to let them come. So he said that Sunday morning, the men of the church all brought axe handles to church and stood on the church steps to keep any black people out. Well, first of all, the funny part, what makes you think any black person would ever want to come to your church like that? But he didn't tell me this as let's go back to the past. He told me this as basically he almost had tears in his eyes of how could we ever have thought that was okay and that that's the world we wanted to live in. So going back to the past really isn't a good option. So what about the future? In Sanskrit, the term for future is avipadesya, and some definitions could be unmanifest or indistinguishable, or uncertain. So uncertainty is scary, but this term can also mean potential. So in the last episode, we were talking about hope. And imagine if you want to grow a flower, what do you have to do? You have to plant a seed in the soil. In the soil where it's dark, where the seed's going to decay and the seed's going to be lost. You can never get that seed back again. So you have to be willing to lose that seed to get the flower that you're hoping for. And that's like our lives now. We have to be able to lose what we've been clinging to if we hope to have something better. So the future is uncertain, but it's also full of potential. And we can't control the future, but we can influence it. But not as long as we're worshiping the past. So think about where you're coming from and where you want to go, and what has to happen for you to get to the place you want to be. Have a great day. Peace. Keep checking in.